Hello and welcome to the Korean Beauty Show podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Lee, the founder of K-beauty brand Jellyco, and of course, your guide to all things K-beauty. On today's episode of the show, we are going to be taking a look at eye creams. What can they actually do and how to know if yours is doing its job properly. But first, today's episode was brought to you by the new K-beauty collection that you can shop online at woolworths.com.au. If you are in Australia doing the groceries and you want to sneak a few K-beauty products into your online shopping order, you can now do that at Woolworths' new Everyday Market by Woolworths platform, which is online at woolworths.com.au. The other thing I think I should do also, guys, is we are currently about to relaunch the next round of Testers Club for our product testers. So this round, I think they will be doing a new retinol product from Charm Zone, one of their new de-age products. So if you do like to test out new K-beauty products, share your opinions, then make sure that you are on Style Stories newsletter list. The application forms for the next round of Testers Club, I believe, are going out this week. So I will have a link in the show notes where you can sign up to the newsletter list. But basically the application forms will be sent out. You can apply, and then I think that they'll be picking, I'm not quite sure how many people, but a bunch of people that can actually then test out the product, share their opinions on it, rate and review. Basically, that is the aim of Testers Club, is to share your real opinions and thoughts on some of the new launches. So make sure that you sign up for that if that is of interest to you. But let's then jump into today's topic, which is, why isn't your eye cream doing its job? So eye creams, we have spoken about them on the show before, but it was quite a while ago now. I believe it may have even been all the way back at episode 20. So quite a while ago. And I think we were kind of looking at some of the best eye creams in the K-beauty market. So today I thought I want to do something a little bit different. And that is, it is a common thing that I hear people say, does the eye cream actually do anything? Do I need one? And I thought, well, why don't we look at, some of the pitfalls, the tips and traps, I guess, for getting the most out of your eye cream and making sure that it is performing at its best. I think, though, any discussion on eye creams, I think it's really important to be clear from the very outset about reasonable things that you can expect from an eye cream. And I think this is the area where some people get a little bit tripped up. I think if your expectations don't match the reality of what a product like this can actually do for you, then you're probably going to be disappointed. So things that you can actually expect an eye cream to do, a good eye cream to do, is firstly a reduction in dark circles. That is definitely possible. A reduction in puffiness, crepiness, fine lines, and just the signs of dehydration around the eye. They are all things that an eye cream can and maybe should be doing, depending on which one you've purchased and why. So let's run through some of the reasons why your eye cream that you're currently using may not be doing its job. The first thing is this: like a lot of skincare products, you need to give it some time. Most skincare products have an ideal period of time where you should be using the product regularly according to the instructions before you're going to start seeing some of the results. And we've definitely talked about skincare waiting times before on the show and what those are. Obviously, some products you will see the results immediately, and then others are going to take a little bit longer. And eye creams are no different. As a general rule, most eye creams are going to take about 4 to 6 weeks before they start showing their results. So if you've only been using it for maybe 2 weeks and you're like, why are my eyes still looking the same? Give it a little bit longer, basically. Let it have at least that 4 to 6 weeks, and then you can make an assessment. A really good way to show, I don't know about you guys, but I'm the kind of person that sometimes I forget how I started. So, sometimes you're like, I'm not really sure if this is working. And then someone shows you a photo and you're like, oh, okay, yes. So that might be a way that you can have an accurate measure. An accurate measuring stick is actually take a photo of the thing that you're trying to treat, the thing that you're, looking to turn around. Take a photo before, and then at the 4 to 6 week mark, take another photo, and that will be a really great way to judge whether you actually think it's working or not. I know oftentimes when people show me photos of things after the fact, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, you can really see the difference. But if you are looking at yourself in the mirror every single day, sometimes that's just a little bit harder to tell. So that's one way. Give it time, maybe take some photos, and you'll be able to see for sure. Take it in similar lighting, obviously, and a similar time of the day, I would recommend. So, shoot it maybe in the morning at 6 a.m., make a note of that. And then 6 weeks later, shoot it in the same place, same time, so that you'll know it's not just a trick of lighting or anything like that. Now, my number 2 tip for why your eye cream might not be doing its job is to not go overboard. So I think it can be really tempting for not just eye creams, but a lot of skincare products to just sort of really slather them on nice and thick, because more equals better results. But that is not necessarily the case. And the thing is, with our eye area, because of how thin and delicate the skin around the eye is, if you do use too much, it can lead to pesky little things like milia, which are those little white dots. So if you've started a new eye cream and you've noticed a buildup of those white things, it's like almost like a whitehead, except if you pick them, they won't go away. If you're noticing them, that is a sign, I guess, that your eye cream is either not the right formulation for your skin, or that potentially you are using too much. So this is one area that it can be a little bit tricky to know, and it's going to be a case of trial and error. Some people actually recommend applying an eye cream twice a day, morning and night, but I think this is really, really a personal choice. I think it is highly dependent on what other products you are also using, as well as your skin type. So I can definitely see some skin types benefiting from using an eye cream morning and night, and that would be people with really, really dry or mature skin. But I think for a lot of other people, using it too often is just going to cause your makeup to slip around and potentially milia to build up as well. So, if you are noticing things like that, that is a good sign to basically step back, cut down, and maybe just do, once every night. So you'll have to just sort of learn your own, I guess, skin and how it responds. Look out for the signs. The number 3 tip that I have for why you might not be getting the best results from your eye cream is that you need to remember your sunscreen. So UV, I know we speak about this so often, but it is one of the biggest environmental culprits that can accelerate aging. And basically, if you're not using a sunscreen, if you're not using the right amount of sunscreen, you're not reapplying, you're not using it properly, then no amount of eye cream is really going to help. And that's just because of exactly that, how delicate the skin is around the eyes. It is one of the first places that will show the signs of aging. So that is just a really important thing to make sure that you're using an eye cream product in tandem with your sun protection as well. I won't harp on about that because I know you guys are probably sick of me saying wear sunscreen, but wear sunscreen. Now, my number 4 tip is to make sure you are getting enough sleep, because eye creams are not going to be able to counter the effects of you not sleeping properly, you not getting enough sleep, and you not getting enough good quality sleep. Eye cream is really going to be the cherry on top of a good routine. So one of the best ways in general to slow down aging is to make sure that you are getting that really, really good quality sleep, and be asleep at the time when the skin is entering its natural repair time. So I know that is a lot easier than it sounds sometimes, particularly if you have, kids and babies around the house. Obviously, you're just going to have to give up the thought of having really nicely rested under eye area, because that's not going to happen. But, once the kids get a little bit older, maybe they're sleeping through the night, then that is a really, really good time to try and get back in that schedule. If your routine is something that you have control over, maybe you are staying up really late at night to, watch K-drama, watch TV, maybe you game at night or something like that. if you are also trying to tackle dark circles, you're just going to have to go to bed earlier. There's nothing really to be done about that. That is the number one way to get rid of your dark circles, is just to make sure that you're asleep at the right time. And number 5, and this sort of touches on the first point that I mentioned, is to manage your expectations. Obviously, even if you are using a great eye cream, the best eye cream there is in the market, there's not really one that's going to reverse the signs of aging. So I think, if you are getting to the point where no matter how much eye cream you're using, you're getting enough sleep, you're doing all the right things, but it's just not cutting it, that is the point in time at which I would suggest checking with a dermatologist and seeing what your other options are. Obviously, skin aging, it's a part of life, and there's a lot that we can do at home with our normal skincare routine, but genetics also does play a part. And unfortunately, I speak to some people from time to time that are in the market for a new eye cream, and then when I see the eye bags and the issues that they have, it's just genetic. Like, there's actually nothing that is going to turn that around for them. And that can be really, really difficult to hear, I guess, but some people just have genetic, really, really, really dark under eye areas. Some people have eye bags from a much younger age than other people. So I think, that would indicate in general that there is obviously a hereditary component to this. That's not to say that you can't get eye bags and dark circles as a result of inflammation. Obviously, the under eyes can become inflamed by a whole range of different factors: UV exposure from the sun, free radical oxidization, stress, fatigue, even allergies can often cause the under eye area to bag and puff up. And what happens in that case is that the microvessels in your eye area become permeable and basically leak fluid, which pools under the eye and gives them that really puffy look. The good news is that if it is just inflammation and it's not actually hereditary, then the swelling can subside when the body reabsorbs the fluids. But that can take a little bit of time. Things that can help if that is the issue that's causing your problems is facial massage. So basically trying to improve the circulation and, inhibit the fluid buildup will help. You might have seen that the correct way to actually apply your eye cream is to pat gently in an upwards motion. I've seen some videos doing the rounds on socials lately of people applying eye cream in just the most rigorous manner that even watching it makes my skin hurt. Be gentle, especially when it comes to the skin around your eyes. Just gently tapping and moving everything upwards. You don't need to really get in there like you're, filleting a fish or something. Some of these videos that I've seen, I'm just like, oh my God, please don't do that. Just nice, gentle motions when we are touching our skin, even when you're doing facial massage. Yeah, around the eyes, we do need to be a little bit more gentle just because of how thin the skin is. The other thing I would say is this: when it comes to eye creams, they cannot replace lost facial volume. So if what you're really noticing is that a hollowing out of the under eye area, then you are going to need more than an eye cream to help that out. And the same goes for things like really, really deep set wrinkles. There's a difference between wrinkles and fine lines. So an eye cream can definitely help with fine lines, but the really deep set wrinkles, not so much. So that would be the point in time where I would be investigating some of the more invasive, in inverted commas, treatments, things like your laser, your Botox. If you want to go down that route, go and speak to a dermatologist and just ask what the options are for you, because there are just some things that eye creams can't do, and replacing facial volume loss is definitely one of them. Now, another reason why you might not be getting the best results from your eye cream, and this one is something people may not realize, is that your eye makeup remover might actually be too greasy. So there are quite a lot of products that I've seen on the market, and this is, I think, more of a problem in particular with the special purpose eye makeup removers, or the point makeup removers that is designed just to remove your waterproof mascara and your lipstick. I've noticed that a lot of them can actually leave an almost really oily film on your skin after you use them. If you are using a product like that and it doesn't sort of wash away properly, then it's going to be just that much harder for the active ingredients in your eye cream to actually absorb and do what they're supposed to do. So just take a little bit of a look at that if that is the kind of product that you are using. Obviously, I've spoken so many times on the show, my favorite way of getting rid of my makeup and SPF, even my waterproof mascara, is the double cleanse method. So going in once with a cleansing oil or balm and then after with a foaming type cleanser. And you won't then need one of these special purpose eye makeup removers if you're doing that. So that's just something to watch out for. I know people have their preferences for the type of products that they like, but just keep an eye on that if you're feeling like, I don't think this eye cream is doing anything, and you are also using one of those really thick, oily type of products. And look, before I continue on to the next little tips on my list, I thought I would share one of the reviews that has been left for the podcast. So this was a review from Peridot1985, who said, "Fun and informative. I love this podcast. It's fun to listen to and super informative." So thank you very much for leaving that review. Don't forget, guys, you can also leave your review either on the Apple Podcasts app, on our Style Story Facebook page, which is stylestory.au, on Google, plenty of different ways to do it. I will leave the links below. I would love for you to share your review as well. The next one I had on my list of tips for getting the best out of your eye cream is to make sure that you are applying your products in the right order. Obviously, applying your products, not to say that there's a set, step that needs to be followed, but more what I'm talking about is just in terms of the thickness of the texture. So, make sure that if your eye cream is richer and heavier than your moisturizer, that it goes on top of your moisturizer. If it's lighter, obviously it's fine to apply it underneath, but basically I would check the instructions on the eye cream to see what the manufacturer suggests, but also be led by the thickness of your products. In general, we always like to go thinnest to thickest. So just keep that in mind as well, just because obviously for the same reason that using a really oily eye makeup remover can, inhibit the penetration of the active ingredients, it will be the same thing if the textures are just not being applied in the right order. So just another little thing to keep an eye out for. And the other big one I see is using eye cream on dry skin. Now, this is a particular problem I notice for people that don't know much about K-beauty or don't follow a K-beauty routine. I know a lot of my mum's friends, come to me for their skincare advice and to ask, about products and things like that. And I ask them, show me what you're using in your routine. And I am horrified by the fact that there is nothing in there that will actually dampen the skin. So essentially they're taking their makeup off and then just putting product onto dry skin. And that is just not the best way to get the most out of your skincare products, particularly for something like an eye cream. You're going to get the best results when your skin is already damp, because this will help to lock in hydration, keep the skin soft and moisturized, and make sure that it's actually going through your skin and not just sitting on top like a barrier, I guess. So the best way is to obviously be layering your layers, whether that's a toner, maybe an essence, a serum. And then once the skin is already damp, then you can go in with, say, your moisturizer or your eye cream to make sure that it all sort of absorbs. If you apply anything onto the top of dry skin, it just sort of sits there and doesn't tend to actually, sink in, I guess. So that is really, really important. And that's just a common mistake I see people make is just like, I've washed everything off and now my moisturizer is going straight on. And you just don't get the best results using products in that way. So that would be the other tip that I have for you guys if you're finding that your eye cream is just not doing what it's supposed to. So look, what are some of the best new K-beauty products on the market? First off, for dark circles, one of the products that I'm really, really loving is Hamish's Marine Care Eye Cream. And this has a really interesting formula because it is formulated with fermented seaweed extract and mineral rich seawater. But best of all, it comes with this little applicator scoop that can help you actually massage the cream into your eye area, which is really, really good for absorption. I know a lot of products on the market these days actually have like a ball roller or something like that. Obviously, there are lots of different ways you can do this with your hands. You can do this with, a device, a massage ball, lots of different ways. But this one actually does come with a little applicator scoop that helps with that, and just has a range of really good ingredients that are great in an eye cream formula. It has macadamia seed oil, glycerin, beta-glucan, 2% niacinamide. It has codium fragile extract, which actually helps to reduce dryness. And then it has Hesychia fusiforme extract, which is really great for skin elasticity as well. So that's a really interesting one to look out for. Now, I love me a multi-purpose eye cream, and there are two that I think are really, really great on the market at the moment. The first one is AHC's Private Real Eye Cream for face. So this is basically an eye cream formula that can be used over the entire face. So you can put it in your marionette lines, in your, 11s, like any of the places that you are experiencing lines in the face, as well as obviously your under eyes. It has 8 different kinds of peptides and is great for fine lines and elasticity. Other ingredients are glycerin, niacinamide, and collagen. So that's a really, really great one. The other one that I myself love because of how big it is and how much bang for buck you get with it is Applebee's Propolis Collagen Eye Cream. That one is a 70 ml size, so it's just giant. You can use it on your neck. You can use it on your eye area, laugh lines, anywhere you want. Obviously, it has propolis in it as well as collagen, so that is a really great multi-purpose one. If you are a snail fan, for the snail lovers, CosRx has a very nice eye cream, their advanced snail peptide eye cream. I would say this is a really good option for people in their 30s. It manages the key concerns for anti-aging in younger skin. As you would expect from the name, it does in fact contain snail secretion filtrate, and it also has niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and sodium hyaluronate, so 2 different versions, I guess, with different molecular weights for your humectants. It has peptide with 5 different types of peptides in it as well. And then so that one I just think is a really great one for people that love their snail. If you are looking for bang for buck, then Applebee has a really, really nice one that won't break the bank, their Daily Miracle Eye Cream. So that is just a great one. It's got all of the right ingredients in it, your peptides, your niacinamide, your propolis, and it's a really, really easy formula to work with. It doesn't weigh the skin around the eyes down in any way. I have been using it and loving it. So that is another really good one if you're just after something a little bit more portable to take with you as well. Their propolis collagen one comes in a big tub, so that's just a little less handy, I guess, if you're on the go. Whereas the Daily Miracle Eye Cream comes in just a little, I don't even know what you call it, a tube that has a little, applicator thing on it that makes it really easy for on the go. The other one that I just can't go past that I really, really love is D'Alba's White Truffle Multi-Treatment Eye Cream. D'Alba just makes beautiful, beautiful products. This is a favorite of flight attendants as well, and just really good for helping to smooth out the appearance of wrinkles. So white truffle is obviously a great ingredient for reviving tired skin in general. So that's just another really beautiful product on the K-beauty market as well. So look, I hope you have picked up some tips and tricks in there. I, for one, am a fan of eye creams. I will go on the record as saying that I definitely notice the difference between when I'm using one and when I'm not using one. I've tried so many different formulas from so many different Korean brands over the years. And I can definitely say, particularly for me, when I'm tired, if I'm I'm tired and not getting enough sleep and also not using an eye cream, I just notice a really big difference. So, if I can't get away with being tired, then at least applying an eye cream, I'm noticing a difference. And particularly when I smile, that's the big thing for me. I can get fine lines when my eye area is dehydrated, and using an eye cream for me just means that area is kept really nice and plump. So I, for one, am a fan. I think they work. I think that it is, there are a few maybe hacks to get the best bang for your buck, to get the most out of your eye cream, but also the really important thing, I think, is to have realistic expectations for what the product can do. And, if you are experiencing things like facial volume loss, really, really deep set wrinkles, maybe you have hereditary eye bags and things like that, then obviously there are going to be limits to what the products can do. And that might be the appropriate time to go and speak to someone like a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon or whatnot, if, it's really an area of concern for you. But otherwise, I think for a lot of other people, you can get really pleasing results from using an eye cream. That's my position on them. So I hope that has been useful for you. If it has, I would love for you to share this episode with someone that you think would also like it. And until next time, I will see you on Style Story.